Hey guys, I'm Levi and welcome back to the channel. So we got 3 inches of rain the past 2 days and it's still raining. Looks like it's going to be raining the rest of the day. So I decided to stop over here and look at these waterways, and the grasses came up really good, and there's the rock. I made a full video on this on my channel, so if you're interested, go check it out. But I wanted to see, with this rain, this is just a good steady rain. We ain't had no downpours or nothing. It's just been really steady about like this for the past 2 days. But this pipe is doing its job. So if you missed the last video that I was working on this 560, let me just explain what's going on. So the clutch, it was grinding, trying to go into gear. It wouldn't go out of gear. The tractor was still pulling with the clutch in. I checked a few things and wound up being clutch problem. So this is what we found in the clutch inspection plate down here. Was these springs and this piece of steel, probably off the pressure plate. So I thought today would be a good day to get the tractor back in the other barn, get it all set up, and start taking some stuff apart to start to split the tractor to put the clutch in. Well, I got her in here, and it's not exactly where I wanted it at, but I wanted to get it in a place that's pretty level. There's a hump right over there, and I didn't want to roll it over that hump. So anyway, this is a pretty good spot. We'll start taking the panels off and getting into this thing, I guess. I gotta go change my clothes and get some dry clothes on because I'm cold and I can see my breath, and it's almost June and it's 50-something degrees out here. So I'm gonna go change my clothes and get some dry stuff on, and then we'll get into this thing. Well, I got me some dry clothes on, so I come out here and had this thing running again and was kind of messing with it, and I noticed that there was oil coming out of here, running down. So I said, well, that must not be tight. So I come over here to tighten this nut up, and the nut was tight. I thought, well, that's weird. Well, while I was wiping it down and stuff, I noticed a bunch of bubbles all down through here on the head gasket, all the way across there. So I don't know if maybe I was building pressure and it was coming out of here. I don't really know. But anyway, I come around to this other side here and looked up in here, and of course there was bubbles all in there, up underneath there where the head gasket is. So somehow we've blowed the head gasket and tore the clutch out of it. So I don't know, probably leaking on it for a while, just hadn't noticed it. But I didn't notice it whenever I went and looked at the bike because I checked it. But you know how that stuff goes. I don't know how long this thing's set. I think it's set for a while before I got it, but anyway. I noticed a bunch of white smoke when I started it, and that's why I kind of got to looking at it. And anyway, so we got a head gasket and we got the clutch now. So that sucks, because I like this tractor, but I don't think I like it that much. So I don't know. But anyway, this morning I went and I got me some jacks. I'm gonna have to fab something up here for the jacks to split the tractor. But I guess we're just gonna start. Take the hood off and take the panels off, the hood off, and then just start unhooking stuff and go from there. This I was pretty motivated to get the clutch in it, but now that the head gasket's out, I'm becoming a lot less motivated to get this done. So I don't know, this might be one of them long projects, but anyway, let's get it going. I got the panels off. Now I guess we'll just go around and start unhooking everything. I got some wiring, some lines, tack cable, all that stuff. Get it rolled back. And there's really not much to splitting this thing. It's pretty easy, I think. Of course, we ain't got into the hard part yet, but there ain't a lot to unhook, it seems like, so that is good. So we'll go ahead and start getting all this stuff unhooked. Morning, guys. Well, let me show you where we're at. I got the steering unhooked, those lines, tack, wiring, intake, everything I got unhooked, I'm pretty sure. Fuel lines, choke cable, coolant, temp gauge, fuel line. I think we're ready to split this thing. So I found a piece of angle here that I'm going to use, and I got my jacks. So I guess this morning I'm going to work on, I got to cut this angle, put some holes in it, try to get my jacks bolted to it. Probably gonna have to go get some bolts. So I'm gonna just try to get everything ready. Might have to go get some bolts. I'm gonna try to split this thing today. I haven't ordered any parts yet. I figured I'd just go ahead and just try to split this thing and see what I got, see what everything looks like in there, and check the seals out. If I need a rear main or whatever, I don't think I do, but if I need it, I can go ahead and order it. I'm ready to start loosening the bolts. I got this jack down here holding the back. I got these jacks. Hopefully they'll run up these boards and be able to split it. It's safe, but is it ideal? No, but whatever. Yeah, I guess we're ready to start loosening bolts up, see what we can do with this thing. Well guys, I had some help come and help me split this thing. I didn't video it. My help don't like to be videoed, so anyway, we got her split. My big plan with the boards worked. Everything worked good. Come apart pretty easy once I figured out that there's 2 bolts in here on both sides holding the engine on there. My book, it just said unbolt the engine and unbolt the frame rails. It didn't really say where the bolts was. So anyway, we got it done. And there is some problems, a lot of problems. So let's take a look at them here. Well, I got my light shined on here so we can see this stuff pretty good, but that is wore off of the clutch, and if you can see, there's a lot of problems on this thing. Well, I think there's supposed to be some springs around here, but there's not. I found all these little pieces in there that I don't have a clue what go to. The clutch pad itself is pretty wore, but this on the pressure plate, it was in there like that. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be fastened back here. So all this is how I took it off. So this was just kind of hanging out in there, and yeah. Well, my phone's ringing. We do have some pretty good wear on this PTO shaft, so I don't know, probably have to replace it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it is wore. It ain't stripped out, but it is wore. So I just pulled the throwout bearing out. I didn't film it because we had a bad rainstorm a while ago and you wouldn't have been able to hear anything. But alright, so looking in here at the shaft, this is the PTO gear that we want to get out. According to the book, you take them 3 bolts out and pull this whole unit out. So that's what we're going to try to do here. If you take a hammer and tap this thing back and forth, you can get it to pull off of there once you get the bolts out of it. And there's an O-ring on there, that's what's holding it in there. The next problem is the book says that this main shaft and this PTO shaft should all slide right out of the tractor. But I know you probably can't see, but behind this gear here, there's another bearing just like this. And that bearing is supposed to be in its spot back here. And when I pull this out, the whole bearing is coming out with this shaft. And it shouldn't be. And it's hitting on this bottom gear. So what I've done is I took the inspection cover off here for the TA. So if you look down in here, you can see where the bearing is. and the gear that it's hitting on. So I took this chisel and stuck it down in there and hammered on it a few times, and I've got the bearing to break loose a little bit. So I'm gonna keep working on this and try to get it. Well, I am getting it off there slowly, but I'm about run out of chisels big enough for that gap. So I don't know. I think I about got it off there, but I'm gonna keep at it here. I got her loose finally. So there it is. Here's the PTO gear. I went ahead and split the bearing off of it, pulled the shaft out for the main shaft. You can see the wear on there. I mean, it's not terrible, but if the tractor's already split, might as well go ahead and do it. But the weird thing is this is a 22 tooth PTO gear, and I was pretty sure I should have a 21 tooth. So I'm gonna have to make some phone calls on that and figure it out. So like I said before, with this being a 22 tooth, and I think it should be a 21 tooth, the gearing would have been off in the PTO. And the only time I've ever used PTO on this was that day running the tiller when the clutch went out. So I don't know. I can't remember if it ran normal or not. I really couldn't tell you. But anyway, I'm gonna have to order some parts and make some phone calls, and hopefully we can get new seals in and a new shaft and clutch, and then start on the head gasket, I guess. Well, it's been a few weeks since I've messed with this tractor, and I got some parts here. New shaft, and I went back with the 22 tooth gear because I called Joe at Red Run Right, and he said 22 teeth is what I was supposed to have. So that's what we're gonna go back with. I'm gonna try to get the bearing back on this today and get a seal, the seal put in, and get this all back in there where it needs to go, and then I'll be ready to put the clutch on. I haven't picked up the flywheel yet. I keep forgetting to pick it up. So Joe from Red Run Right, he also told me if these splines was wore down half or less, they'd make it another clutch life. And I would say that mine are a little bit more than half. So, well, I ain't never had a seal come out that hard. I broke it, and it was in there tight. Usually you just kind of hammer around on them a little bit and they'll pop right out, but definitely some damage in here from somebody else. They really got that scarred up, but we got an O-ring here we can take off too. Alright, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit and we'll put it back together. Well, I got my new seal here, and I don't know if it helps, but I'm gonna put a little bit of grease in here. Well, I got it in there with patience and a hammer. Well, now I guess we're ready to slide this on. Need to hammer that down in there, I guess, a little bit. I'm just gonna tap it back out real quick just to check the seal, because you can drive that that old seal that I pulled out of there. It was bottomed out, but this one's not, and you have room to drive it on down in there, but I don't think that's a good idea. Well, I ran into another problem here. So what we put together bolts right in here, and that shaft goes in this bearing, and this seal is right back here, and that's the one that I'm just gonna pack grease in it. And this is the bearing that kept trying to come out with me when I was trying to pull that shaft out. So anyway, right back in here there's a coupler, and it goes on the other shaft back there. And so this main shaft that goes in the clutch, the coupler goes on it, the main shaft goes into that other shaft. Well, anyway, I thought, well, the coupler about came off. The coupler about came off when I pulled that shaft out. So I stuck it back up in there. Well, when I was getting ready to put all this back together, I said, well, maybe I should check this coupler out. So this side is perfect. This side, I don't think the camera can pick up how thin those splines are. I don't even know how the tractor pulled it all, but there we go. I mean, they are paper thin. I actually cut my finger when I was putting it back up in there a while ago. So that pulled out pretty easy with the screwdriver. But yeah, it's kind of hard to get on there because you kind of gotta kind of work it around and mash it down in there. But we got it on there. Now we're ready to press it in. Well, guys, finally, after about a week and a half, I got this coupler. So I got the new collar here, and there's a little ring that I took out of the old one and put in here, and it kind of stops this shaft from being able to move back and forth. So I've got my seal all greased up and sleeve, and it slides back in here. Alright, I got it started in there, and I'm going to try to take it on in with these bolts, because the end of that shaft has to press up into the bearing and seal. Well, guys, I hope this is in the right spot. I hooked all my linkages up, and I I put this thing straight up and down. I was able to barely get in here and tighten it or loosen it up to take it off, so I think it's in the right spot, because I took this all loose before I took the linkages off, but I can't really remember, so we might have to come back to this. I think if I need to, I can come up through this inspection plate with a long extension, and I think I can get up in here and adjust that if I need to. Well, I got the flywheel cleaned up, and I got the pilot bearing in. So now I guess it's time to start thinking about how we're going to get this clutch on here. Well, I got my pressure plate in here, and I'm going to put my clutch disc on the spline, and then I should be ready to put this thing back together. And then once I get it together, I can rotate this pressure plate around and bolt it to the flywheel. If you do it this way, you don't have to have the alignment tool, but it is easier to bolt everything in here and do it that way. But we're gonna see how this works. Alright guys, I got it pushed together. I've got one bolt tight, and I'm trying to put the other bolts in now. So hopefully everything lines up good. And then once I get these in, we'll go underneath. Alright guys, so this is looking up in here, and it looks like the sleeve cylinder is going to be set pretty good. I see it's clearing the fingers on the pressure plate, and then I've got my bolts started here, and I just have to put these in and bar the engine around and put all these in. And then I have to take these out, because once you take these out, then your springs are compressed or depressed or whatever. So I'm gonna get to work on that. Clutch pedal feels pretty good. I'm gonna work on bolting all this stuff up, getting everything back together, and see if it moves, see if everything feels all right with it. And then I'm gonna start on the head gasket. But I'll see y'all when I'm ready to fire this thing up. All the lines hooked up, steering's hooked up, everything's hooked up, and we're gonna start this thing, and we're just gonna move it up and back a little bit and just make sure everything sounds okay and looks okay and feels okay. Well, she starts, runs, and goes back and forth. So everything sounded fine. Everything seemed fine. I like to take it down the road and stuff, but I don't know. Everything seemed fine, so I think it's all right. I got it moved over here, so hopefully when I get the head off, I'll be able to get the loader tractor in here and pull the head off. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. We got the clutch in it, got seals in it, new PTO gear. So hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.